There's a new iPhone 11 coming out this Friday. Should you get one? We'll stick around and find out. I'm your host Adolfo here at Bully Arcade. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, we take a look at games, tech, and anything in between. Let's take a look at the differences between the 11 and the 11 Pro. So first and foremost, price. Easily has to be one of the biggest differentiating factors. The regular 11, or iPhone 11 as it's called, is going to be $700. The 11 Pro is going to be starting at a nice whopping $1,000. I almost said $1,100 because the Pro Max is starting at $1,100. Now they say $999, $1,099. Who are we kidding? $1,000, $1,100, $700. So you're looking at a difference between either $300 or $400 depending on which route you take. So definitely number one, price. It's a biggie. It's a biggie for sure. Now, what are you getting for that additional $300? Well, there is three key differences. The first being the battery. On the iPhone 11, an hour more than the XR. On the iPhone 11 Pro, you are getting 4 hours more than the XS. And on the Pro Max, you're getting 5 hours more than the XS. So quite a bit of difference there. Slightly confusing using the referenced XS and the XR. I know it can get so confusing. But point being, you're getting more battery life with any of the models that you go with the Pros getting quite a substantial difference in battery life. So if that's a big component to you, keep that in mind. Now the next key difference between these phones is the camera. However, both of them are getting the new ultra wide. So whether you go with the 11 or the Pro, you're not missing out on much. The only differentiating factor is that the Pro is getting a third additional telephoto camera. We can go into a bunch of detail of what benefit you're going to get from that third camera, but essentially with that telephoto, you're just going to be able to zoom in to distant objects. So unless you're really a top tier photographer or someone who's really into lenses and changing and all that, not a huge difference there. Let's move on to screens. With the iPhone 11, you are getting what they are calling Liquid Retina, aka an LCD display. And with the iPhone 11 Pro, you are getting the Super Retina XDR. What a bunch of jargon. What does it all mean? The key difference is if you had an XR, you're getting the same type of display. You're getting an LCD. If you had an iPhone X or an XS, with the Pro and the Pro Max, you're getting the same type of display. You're getting an OLED. So one's just going to be slightly better in vibrancy and colors. Now here it gets a little confusing. If you go with the regular 11, you are actually getting a bigger screen than if you go with the 11 Pro. The 11 Pro is starting out at 5.8 inches, which is like crazy because then you look at the regular 11, it's starting at 6.1 inches. So you're technically getting a bigger screen with the 11 over the 11 Pro. Additional things to mention, 2 meters versus 4 meters, aluminum and glass versus stainless steel and glass. So not really a big difference in materials and water resistance, but a difference nonetheless. Colors. With the 11, you're getting a variety of vibrant colors. With the 11 Pro, you're getting a few extra colors. But you know what? It doesn't matter because you're gonna be getting a case anyways. At least the far majority. I know not all of us will, but the far majority of us will be putting a case on this phone. And guess what? Apple's got you covered now with them new cases. So last thing to note is the storage. With the iPhone 11, you're going from 64 gigs to 128 gigs, a 256 gigs. From the 64 gig to the 128 gig, it's jumping up from $50. So not the biggest leap there. I would suggest the 128 gig. The 256 gig iPhone, you're jumping up by $150, so quite a difference there. Now when we come to the iPhone Pro, we have a 64 gig, a 256 gig, and a 512 gig. And the jump is the same from the 64 to the 100 to the 256, which is going to be that $150 jump. Now when coming to the 512 gig, you're looking at a $200 price point jump, which is, whoa, quite the leap there. So now that you know the differences between these two new iPhones, should you get one of them? Well, if you currently already own an iPhone that has 2 cameras on it, that being from the 7 Plus model, I believe, if memory serves me right, there might be another one with 2 cameras. The 7 Plus model going forward, as long as you have an iPhone with 2 cameras, you're not necessarily missing out on much by making the leap over to the 11. I mean, you're still getting an LCD screen. The key difference is that you now finally have the ability to take low light photos. What does that mean? If you're someone who's ever taken a photo in the dark and you're like, oh, that looks not as great as I wish it did. I really thought my phone would have taken a better photo. Well, guess what? The 11 has you covered. You can now finally get that crystal image that you've been wanting to and thought you should get. So that's going to be a difference. When it comes to portraits, not only are you going to be able to do portraits on yourself, but you can now do portraits on your pets. So, you know, if you love your dog, I love my dog, which is kind of part of the reason of the naming of this channel. Shout out to all my dog lovers. Now you can take some sweet portraits of them. Let's move on to all of those who still have a single lens iPhone. Wait a minute, let me go ahead and cover this up, but ta-da! Look at that. I have an iPhone 6S, or 6, as well as a 6S stored away somewhere over there. But anyways, I've had those for quite some time now. Currently, I know all you Apple iPhone lovers, I'm rocking an Android, a Samsung S8 to be exact. So not the latest, not even. But I've been waiting for a new iPhone that's gotten to get me excited, and this one, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, phones aren't getting that much more extravagant or crazy, and this is not looking like a bad one. Not looking like a bad one. Let's go ahead and move on to, if you have not had an iPhone, is this the iPhone to get? Very debatable. Personally, I've been wanting an iPhone for some time now. They do have some great software things going for them, and this one doesn't look all that bad. My biggest gripes has to be the notch. Oh my gosh. Would Steve Jobs not be super disappointed? Let me know down below. I definitely think, you know, being the exquisite, down to the finest detail designer he was, I think he would be so disappointed that in 2019, 2020, we still have that notch. Like, oh my gosh, what an eyesore. On top of the notch, my other gripe, no Type-C. The iPad, the Mac, any other smartphone out there, they're all having Type-C. Why are you still sticking with that stupid, old, ancient lightning connector? At this point, it's looking real dumb and real ancient. I'm sorry for all the negativity, harsh language. I know. Hey guys, I like Apple just as much as the next person, but come on. All your other devices are moving forward. This one's staying back. Come on, just get on with it. Plus, now they have a trade-in program. Beware of that trade-in program though. I'm gonna list it right here. Yeah, it's not looking like the best. And if you really think about it, they're not even mentioning the storage. So say you bought the most decked out 8S or 8 Plus or even, iPhone 10, and you bought it with the most decked out storage and it costs you like $200 more. It says may trade in value up towards that amount. So maybe that's the one for that top tier model. So beware with the trade-in program. Plus, after you get your new iPhone and you have the new accessories and all that, it's all that money's gonna deplete anyways. So I don't know if that exactly would be the best route to take. What is my recommendation? Which iPhone do I think you should be buying? I would say the 11. The 11 has all the features of Pro minus just the three key factors we went over: the battery, the camera, and the screen, whether you want an LCD or an OLED. And if you don't exactly know what that means, trust me, I have both somewhere around the home, whether it's my display here, television, my phone. I've used them all. It's really not a big of a difference. Go into an Apple store, ask them to show you an OLED versus an LCD. Yes, you'll right then and there you might be like, oh, but in everyday use on your regular ongoing life, you're not really gonna notice it. So I'd recommend the 11. Which one will I be going with? I more than likely am gonna go with the Pro, only because I do enjoy filmmaking and I do want to test out that if there is any benefit to that third additional camera. So subscribe if you want to see that in the future. As for getting your hands on one of these iPhones, there is more options than ever available to you. You have the Apple credit card. I see what they did there. You have the trade-in program, as mentioned. Now beware. And last but not least, they're even doing their own installment plan, starting at the low price of $16.62 a month. Let me double check that. That's right, $16.62 a month. What? I know, that's incredible. With that being said, which iPhone are you gonna get? Does the notch bother you? Have you already pre-ordered? Or are you perfectly content and satisfied with your existing iPhone? I would love to know. Leave that down below. leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't, and thank you guys so much for joining me at this look at the iPhone. I hope I have made your choice easier for this upcoming Friday, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.